Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Say Less Basketball Podcast. You're currently listening to episode 47. This is this week's episode, the 23rd. Join with you, as always, your host, Zach Fulcher, William Donzella, Mohammed Dahelseed. Back again this week. Talked about the Bulls' injuries last week, and now there's been developments with the Caruso situation and injuries to the Bulls again. So we're going to be talking about that. There's also been some Simmons rumors again and about the trade rumors. So that's rearing its ugly head again. So we're going to talk about that again. And, decipher and analyze the offers that the Sixers rejected again. But then there was rumors that Westbrook for John Wall was a trade package that was in the works. So we're going to talk about that. James Harden also rumored that he might want to leave the Nets. And then Embiid's last 10 games are, his MVP season so far. There's been a lot of MVP talk the last couple of weeks with our last episode was focused on mainly the MVP talks and with Durant out and Steph on the struggles, but the race is certainly shifting around. So we're going to get into it with Embiid, and he's put up some really strong numbers. So we'll talk about that. So first off, though, we're just going to get the Bulls stuff, I think, done now. The Bulls injuries again. So there's I don't know if the viewers saw this or not, but the Bucks played the Bulls on, I think it was Friday, and there was a really nasty collision with Grayson Allen, who has a history of dirty plays, if you want to call them, in the NBA and in college. So he has a history with that, and a lot of people think that's who he is. But there was a nasty collision, and Caruso is going to have surgery on his wrist to repair it. And there's a beef between the Bulls and the Bucks now, and there was some Twitter beef, and the Bucks tweeted out "Good morning" with the Grayson Allen sipping some coffee, and they deleted that real quick, and the Bulls talk Twitter account was going at them. So there's some beef there.
F the Bucks, bro, for real.
For
F
real.
Grayson Allen, F the Bucks, F their Twitter handler, F their team, F Milwaukee, just F everything about the Bucks.
Been in Milwaukee?
I've been to Wisconsin a couple of times, not Milwaukee.
I like it. It's a nice city. The stadium's nice too.
That's good. Good for them. Don't care. F them.
Yeah, F them, F the Packers.
Yeah, I was happy that the Packers, what happened to them yesterday. So now I'm praying on the same thing that happened to the Bucks. I hope the Bulls do the job.
Yep. Bro, imagine not even getting 11 players for the last play, bro. Your literal last chance.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Watch the Bucks put out 4 players.
Maybe the Packers are just trying to match their score. About 10 points, 10 players.
They're like, we're going out with our score.
This is revenge. Yeah, this is the Robbie Gold field goal yesterday was really revenge for the that Caruso shot.
Bro, Robbie Gold has really been torturing the Packers his whole career.
Yeah. Yep. Can't even lie. But the Bulls injuries, they were already bad last week, but they have Lonzo Ball out. They have Caruso out now. Levine is out. Javonte Green is out. Obviously, the whole Patrick Williams situation that we had earlier in the season as well. So, gentlemen, what's the key to overcoming these injuries again with Ball and Caruso and Levine? Because all those guys have significant roles on the team. Caruso, obviously, the defense. Lonzo's obviously the distributor, and Levine can score at will. So is DeMar DeRozan going to have to step up? Is Vucevic going to have to step up? Where does it start? Where's the solution for this?
I think obviously DeRozan and Vucevic got to step up, but I'm just excited for Ayo and Kobe to kind of show their worth.
Yep.
In Lonzo's. Well, Levine's gonna come back maybe this week, most likely. Lonzo and Caruso are really the only ones out long term. So Kobe and I are gonna fill those 2 spots. Like I said, dude, that's just Caruso just came back and then he got injured again for 2 months. It's just, man, bro, the Bulls with injuries are just like a thing, no matter what. It's a whole new team, but the same bad luck with injuries. I don't know why. It's tough. The only good thing about it is at least they're not going to be out for the playoffs. They're going to at least return maybe a week or two before the playoffs start. So that's a good thing. But I think obviously they're not probably going to hold their 1 seed right now. Yeah, I think they already gave it up to the Nets, but they'll be all right. I think they'll still be a top 3 team.
Bulls are lucky, man, because the Nets are dealing with those injuries too.
Yeah, I was going to say
Bulls need that 1 seed, bro. They need it.
Yeah, I was going
to say
they're not going to
get it.
They are the 2 seed now. They're like half a game behind the Nets, I think. Yeah. Will, your thoughts on the
They have a chance to still keep the 1 seed, I think, actually. I mean, unless this kind of thing continues. What's going to play in their favor is that it seems like the Nets are really the only one that are pushing them for that 1 seed. Who's the 3rd seed right now?
The Heat.
Nah, dude, the Bucks. Okay, the Bucks are coming. The Sixers are coming. Heat are coming. The Nets up there with them.
I understand that the Sixers and the Bucks. I'm not too worried about the Sixers. The Bucks scare me a little.
1 through 6 is separated by 3 games, dude.
Yeah,
I think they still have a chance to stay up at the top though, because
I think so.
They're not. I mean, Lonzo is gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt a lot. But like you said, Levine should come back this week. Vucevic needs to play better. I mean, he just needs to be more. He needs to be more. All right, that's whether Lonzo and Levine are there or not. But as you said, I love Io. I really like him. I am very eager to see him break out here. I hope he does. I'm very curious to see what he can do. I believe in him. I think he's a great player. But as you said, Bulls and injuries, man. I mean, since I've really started watching basketball, that's just been a narrative for the Bulls. It's like we get a new training staff. It doesn't matter. The same thing happens, man. I mean, granted, Caruso gets hurt on probably not a common play, you know.
Yeah.
You don't expect that kind of stuff to happen. But like Lonzo, I guess Lonzo's had, I don't know if you call Lonzo injury prone throughout his career so far. I think you could maybe make that argument, but I think they're in okay shape. We talked on this podcast. I think it's important for the Bulls to get the 1 seed. That's gonna be way harder now. Unless somebody steps up like crazy, which I believe somebody can. I believe they have the pieces to do it. I know Jack is giving us crap in the chat. Oh, it's time to see their big, they're really, really deep team. You know, like, yeah, a team could be deep, but you don't expect 5 players to get hurt or whatever. They got a deep team. They're gonna be okay. Will they keep the 1 seed? I don't know. I think the Nets threaten them the most for it. I know the separation is like 3 games. But I think the Nets are the biggest threat and the Bucks right behind. Sixers are up in the air. I mean, we're going to talk about that in a minute, but I think they're okay, Zach.
Okay.
Good there, bro?
Huh? Sorry, I was adjusting I'm trying to adjust the mic here, but yeah. But the Bulls are the 2 seed right now. Yeah, actually, they're 29. So last week it was kind of funny. The first, Muhammad was saying it's close right now. It was really close last week too. I remember the first 6 seeds, I think, were all at 27 wins. Like last week.
Yeah.
So
the only reason the Bulls had the 1 seed, I think, is because they played less games than everybody else. Because they're like, I think like 4 games behind, I think, or a couple of games behind at least. Obviously, because they had like those postponements or whatever.
Right. Yep. They're 1 game behind the Nets now. Yeah. And then it feels like they're pretty much up to speed right now. So yeah, but the Bulls are 4-6 in their last 10. There's not really anyone doing like there isn't really anyone in the first 6 that are really hot right now. Brooklyn 6-4, Miami 6-4, Milwaukee's 5-5, and Cleveland is 7-3. But the Sixers are in the 6th seed. They're
Sixers are
8-2.
coming, man.
Yeah,
Sixers
they're
are
coming.
coming.
They are coming.
Need
You're right.
Embiid for MVP.
Bro, I remember the last year you guys telling me how the Sixers were that team the whole year. They're gonna get it done.
Like
I'm gonna tell you the same thing I said last year. I have it in a clip on my phone. Until they do something, I'm not believing they will do anything.
for real.
They may who knows? They may like make the conference finals. I'm never picking them to make the finals or win the finals, bro.
They're
like
missing their second star right now, and they're like 10 games above 500.
I don't care. I once I see it happen, I'll believe it.
Right
This
now.
is gonna be like this will be like the Raptors. Once it like the Raptors, I didn't believe in the Raptors. Then they got Kawhi.
Right now. They're overachieving. They're overachieving right now. So
They are. They are right now, but it's not the playoffs. This is a marathon.
Playoffs.
If Ben Simmons is not
It's a marathon, bro. It's about the playoffs.
If Ben Simmons is not playing,
Talk about the playoffs.
if Ben Simmons doesn't play or they don't trade anybody for Ben Simmons, he's still out. They're gonna be underdogs for the rest of the year. I don't care if it's playoffs, regular season. They're gonna be underdogs. So if they get a top,
You don't think their team is better than some of the teams in the East?
the Bulls have a better squad than them. The Bucks have a better squad. The Nets have a better squad.
Yes.
And then I'd argue that
After that, who? The Heat. I give the Heat a better
the Heat have a
team.
better squad. So they're fifth best team. So yeah.
I give them the fifth best.
Okay. So
I wouldn't pick. Well, actually, I probably would pick against.
If they have Ben Simmons, what would they be at in terms of top teams in the East? Not record.
No, I would have them exactly where you just said, fifth.
Even with Ben Simmons?
Oh, with Ben Simmons?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Ben Simmons.
3.
Behind behind who? Who's in front of them?
So okay. So are we assuming the teams are right now? Like how it is now? Because the Bulls won the Nets too?
I'm not saying record-wise. I'm just talking about like if you just made power rankings and you just.
Oh, where would they be with Ben Simmons?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still give them 3. I give them behind the Nets roster and the Bull. Actually 4, maybe behind the Bucks roster too.
I say
If
Nets.
if I'm going by roster, 3 or 4.
I say 3. I think Bucks and Nets are better.
I can understand it. I just I think the Bulls have a nice roster. You know, I'm a little biased. All right, I'm like Skip with the Cowboys. All right, I'm a little biased. Okay.
Sixers are kind of like the Packers in the playoffs now.
Bro, Skip had a terrible week last week, but I can't wait for tomorrow because he's gonna eat. He's gonna.
God, no, you gotta wait till the Bucks actually beat the Rams today for him.
I know. Well, yeah, but you know what he's gonna do. He's gonna ignore that and just talk about the Packers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, Brady didn't have this, but you know, Aaron Rodgers had the best receiver, second best running game.
It'd be crazy if Brady wins, Mahomes loses, and then of course Aaron Rodgers lost. Then that Monday probably
Skip will literally walk. They're not. Are they in person again next week? They might be. If they are, he's gonna walk in with bling, like
with
his J's on.
He's gonna have a Tom Brady jersey, maybe.
I wanted them to be in person for the after the Cowboys lost, but they weren't.
Bro, I know, dude. That was so funny.
Yep.
He was saying like, let's just end the show. I don't want to talk right now. Or he's like literally screaming. Bro, something about Wisconsin, man. Those teams just
hit different.
Something about them.
Something about them hit different, for real.
I don't know. Bucks win a championship in a fluke year.
Georgia's the only team with a G in their logo capable of winning a championship. But on to the next topic, since we were just talking about Embiid, we'll just talk about this next. Embiid has been on a tear recently. We talked about the MVP race last week. We just talked about how the Sixers are getting hot right now. Gentlemen, do you think that Embiid is they are the 6th seed? So we talked about the winning and everything last week, but you think he's top 3? He should. Is top 4, top 5, 1? Where is he?
He's top 3, man.
He's second for me right now.
He's top 3.
He's for sure top 3 though. That's no question.
He dropped 50 points in 27 minutes, man, on 74% shooting. That's insane.
Bro, his MVP odds have doubled. Well, I guess cut in half. However you want to look at it. He was at plus 1,200. Now he's at plus 600.
I really think if he didn't get injured last year, he could have won MVP. I'm not going to.
Oh, yeah. I picked him. Didn't you and I pick him last year? Or
yeah,
I know I did for sure.
I was saying he was a front runner. I didn't pick him to win, but I acknowledge that he was actually, the front runner. But
dude, watch me be a year early on everything. The year before the Bucks win the finals, I pick them to win the finals. Year before Embiid wins MVP. Huh?
The Nuggets going to the conference finals.
Nuggets. Oh my God, the conference. Oh my God, don't even get me started about the Nuggets. Oh my God, I want that. That's another guy though. Jokic is right there.
Jokic is right there. I'm gonna put this graphic up right now. What are we at now? It's like 13. Yeah, but Joel Embiid's last 13 games: 40 points, 13 rebounds, 50 points, 12 rebounds, 30 and 8, 32 and 8, 32 and 12, 25 and 13, 31 and 6. 31 and 8, 31 and 12, 31 and 5, 31 and 15 and 10, 34 and 7, 36 and 11, and 36 and 13. So, I mean, those are 13 straight games, 13 straight games of just 30-plus performances with at least.
Dude, it sucks, bro, because LeBron gets talked about religiously for scoring 30 points. And granted, he's 37, and everybody talks about it like it's impossible to do. Which it probably is harder. He's got more miles on his bones. But I never hear Embiid talked about. I don't hear like anybody else really talked about that's doing stuff like that. Gotta be honest with you. I didn't even know those were his last stats.
I know.
I haven't really paid attention that much to it, and I don't hear about it.
Our boy, famous Los, Lord of the Splickak, he tweeted this out and said if this was somebody else, it would be the only thing we hear about.
Yep.
We all know who would be my bad, like
talked about
be LeBron.
Yeah, Luka, LeBron,
Steph, maybe not
KD.
KD probably though.
Giannis for sure.
Harden.
Actually, no, not even Harden. Not this year. Maybe in his Rockets days, but not with the Nets.
If he did this now, he would. Like just if he just had this run like right now.
Without KD.
Okay, yeah.
Well, that's why I said last week he has a chance to jump up in the MVP rankings, but I guess not. I hope the Undisputed has a topic about Embiid because I know Skip will be right there to vouch for him. Because Skip loves Embiid.
He doesn't like Jokic though, right?
Yeah, so Shannon is Jokic, and Embiid is Skip, or Skip is Embiid. They debate. I mean, pick your poison. It's like 1A and 1B. It's not like you're going wrong by picking one or the other.
Yeah, I mean, there's a right choice for sure.
There's a right choice, yeah. I would probably err on the side of Shannon there, but that's for a different day and a different time. But it would be interesting to see two big men win MVPs in back-to-back years. 3, if you really want to go back to Giannis, or it would be 4.
Go back to Giannis, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on. It would be four power forwards / centers.
There's 4 big men
in a row, yeah, which is
in this era
interesting considering how the NBA is.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, they're both. I say for sure a big man's gonna win this year, as of right now.
Oh, for sure.
I think so. Well,
I mean, unless
who's the next closest guard, or just I guess
Steph, right?
non-big men.
Steph. It would be Steph. Or Durant.
Well,
Durant's a forward.
Is it just Steph?
It would be Ja. Ja's after Steph if you're going by guards.
DeMar.
Well, I'm just saying non-big men, so I guess.
Oh, KD, Steph, Ja, DeMar.
KD's out. He's out.
Yeah, he's out.
Too many times. Too much time.
I still think Harden has at least a chance to creep up in the top 5.
I don't think so. I don't think he's had good of a season so far.
Harden's had an underrated season, but it's overshadowed by the fact that he's, his shooting hasn't been
I have him on
elite.
fantasy, so I know how he plays this year. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Number one fantasy player, by the way.
Oh no.
Is he really?
Position wise, I guess.
Oh,
So
yeah.
guards, number
Well,
one.
that's because he plays like 3 positions, right? Shooting guard, point guard. Oh, that would be it.
Those
He
are
probably
two.
doesn't get the small forward. Yeah.
Nah.
All I can tell you
I
is
could
that
see
it's
Harden do. I mean, he's playing with a part-time Kyrie. KD's
yeah.
out.
I think he has a chance, but he
We
has
talk about
to,
how bad the Nets roster outside those 3 is
bro.
in terms of numbers and just help.
I don't see it. I don't see it turning around with all these guys.
Why Embiid? The Sixers were struggling. Then Embiid went on this tear. Now they're on the verge of being a top 3 seed, and he's creeped up from like 8 to 3 and 2. It could happen for Harden. I'm pretty sure Harden's still top 10 in NBA.com's MVP rankings.
Wow.
Why not?
I don't know. I just
In DraftKings, he is number
I feel like
12.
the narrative I feel like the media narrative surrounding him right now is that he's had a bad season, and I don't
Well,
think. Yeah.
He has better. And he's been putting up good numbers for the past at least month and a half.
Yeah,
So-
right. But I think the media has said he's had a bad season. I don't think they can. I don't see them turning around their stance on it unless he goes nuclear.
You see that word you use, bro? Media.
Yeah.
It's toxic. They're a cancer. Because it's so funny how Harden's been playing way better than he was, and nobody's talking about it. The media hasn't, right?
Mhm.
But there's this light-skinned dude in Oakland or San Fran, whatever it is now, that has been playing like not even a top 10 guard in the league for the past month and a half, and nobody wants to talk about that. He hits a stupid game winner against the Houston Rockets, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, Steph's the MVP again. It's ridiculous.
Well, you could say he's not the MVP, Zach. I don't care how you twist it. Right now, Steph is not leading. He shouldn't even be. Well, he could be top 5.
He's not top 5.
What?
Okay, I could argue. I could see an argument for him being top 5.
No, he's not. Not of late.
Not of late, but for collectively for the season, I could see it top 5.
That's not how they're doing. We're doing how the media is doing it. Do you know what they did with Giannis? This man missed like 1 week with protocols. He comes back, puts up his average numbers. Oh, he goes from 6th to 3rd. And Embiid's been going on this tear. Oh yeah, we'll just bump you up to 3 from 6. So how come when Steph was putting up terrible numbers, do you see his shooting percentages? Russell Westbrook is shooting better than than Steph Curry.
That is sad. Westbrook's actually shooting better than him this year. That's crazy.
Okay, so why can't we drop him off from top 5 then?
I'm just saying collectively for this season, but if you're going by just week by week basis,
I'm not going week by week. I'm talking. This has been happening for a month and a half. This isn't week by week.
I know.
6 weeks.
He's been, but I mean, outside of Giannis, Jokic, and DeMar, then I got Steph right there. Because KD, I can't put KD anymore. I would put Ja. I'd put Ja, but Ja. I'm telling you guys, Ja needs some real. He won't get it though. He can't because their team's too well-rounded.
He probably wins most improved for sure.
Yeah, he will. But Steph is still the betting favorite for MVP.
That doesn't make sense, really.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah,
I don't
know.
I mean, at least they know, because if he puts up 25 plus for 10 straight games, you all know the media is gonna hype him up and everybody's gonna go crazy, and all of a sudden he's number 1 in MVP rankings, because that's how they do MVP rankings now. So I wouldn't be surprised, bro.
Do we want to talk about the Ben Simmons thing with this topic as well, or is that different?
I think so. We can lead into that, yeah, because we just talked about the Sixers.
I didn't know if that's the same topic.
No, we can transition there, but the points leaders. I'm just gonna read this off right now because this is a little bit interesting. So KD is top, but it doesn't really matter now.
Yeah, it doesn't.
He's averaging 29 points per game, but LeBron is averaging 28.9 points per game. He's second. Giannis is third. Joel Embiid is fourth. Trae Young is fifth, and then Steph is sixth.
Wait, who's fifth?
It doesn't matter how many games KD misses. He's still gonna get the scoring title if nobody passes those averages.
Right.
That's facts. So.
LeBron is it really? Did he play enough to get it?
I'm just saying. He'll come back for the playoffs. So if nobody passes him up while he's gone, he's gonna win the scoring title. So yeah, it does matter.
Bro, imagine how many scoring titles KD would have if he never got hurt, bro. Oh my gosh.
KD is at 29.3 points per
Overrated
game,
scorer, not gonna lie.
and LeBron is at 28.9. So he's like, what is that, 0.4 points
0.4.
behind him? Yeah.
Well, I feel like this is totally off topic, but I kind of agree with Skip when he says that I think LeBron might be trying to get to Kareem.
Yeah.
Like
I
low
mean,
key.
obviously he is.
I think
He's
so,
gonna do
yeah.
it for sure.
I mean, he will easily do it, but I feel like he's trying to do it this year to overshadow the fact that the Lakers are booty. Oh my god, they are the most underperforming team. They're the Packers. Not even, bro. I can't
This
even
might
call
be
them
the most
Packers.
underperforming team since
Yeah.
the Kobe, Nash, Dwight Howard Lakers.
I think so. The top
Because
10
that
is,
team was hyped up to the max.
this is hyped. This was hyped up to the max as well.
The Nets.
I mean, that's
That's at
barring. I
least.
mean, the Nets have had injuries.
No, I'm talking about with KG, Paul Pierce.
Oh, right.
Who actually
else did
thought
they-
that team would work though? I mean, like KG was like 36 and Paul Pierce was like 35. Like, what are we doing?
Nate Robinson.
I was on Darren Williams too, and then what's his name? Brooke Lopez wasn't even putting up his regular numbers. It's like, okay, like what's so good about that team?
Nets got fleeced in that trade.
Four All-Stars.
Nets got fleeced in
Former
that.
All-Stars or in old age, aging.
That's how the Lakers built their roster.
And then they got
Oh,
fleeced
the
in that
Lakers
trade.
have
And
a-
hold
We
on.
have a top 5 player in AD, so and a top 5 player in LeBron. So just saying. Not in my eyes, but a lot of people he's top 5.
Yeah, I was saying, but the Celtics fleeced him in that trade and built a really good team and proceeded to do nothing with it. So
They
Yeah,
did
now
fleece
they
them.
now
bro.
they about to break it up.
I'm gonna read
Which they should by trading Ben Simmons for Jaylen Brown.
Speaking of, with the Simmons, there's been this whole season, ever since the summer. I mean, we've been talking about these Simmons trade rumors for God knows how long. It's been they should have traded him like a year ago, but there's still that Pacers Brogdon thing we talked about. That's in the works or whatever. I think they declined that like multiple times.
Can you read off that Pistons one that they were offered?
The Pistons one. Yeah, I'm trying to.
I think I sent it. I sent.
Wait, weren't they? I thought they were offered another trade from I forget who it was, but it was a good trade or it was a bad trade. They just asked for
The
so
only
much.
one I've seen from reports that actually offered to them was the Pistons one. I've heard about the Kings might send them, which I think is
Oh, that might have been the one.
Celtics, which I think is good, or the Nets, which I think all three are pretty good. Because the Pistons one doesn't make sense to me because I think Jeremiah Grant was in it, and I don't think Jeremiah Grant with Embiid is a good thing.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a good, but I think they need a Ben Simmons replacement. So I think they need a guard. So Fox, Harden, or Jaylen Brown, I think are perfect to go with Embiid.
The Pistons package was Jeremiah Grant, Sadiq Bey, Kelly Olynyk, and a first-round pick. Was not met with much enthusiasm.
Never mind. That's actually a good trade.
Was not met with much enthusiasm by Philadelphia brass.
Wait, where's the first round pick? What year is it? Is it next year?
I think so.
Is it protected? That's a bigger question.
This stems back all the way to that freaking Brogdon trade they declined, man. I swear.
I still think the Brogdon trade they should have taken. I think I still think that.
It's a good guard.
Brogdon's been hurt a ton this year, so might not have.
Here's the Sacramento one while we're on the topic. Sacramento has
This one's good.
Sacramento has considered packaging Buddy Hield, Tyrese Halliburton, Harrison Barnes, and 2 first-round picks for Ben Simmons.
That's a great trade.
And Matisse Thybulle.
That is fleecing the Kings, bro.
Yeah.
That's a good. But didn't the Sixers say no to it? Aren't the Sixers?
I don't know if that's the actual offer. That was rumors. I never seen
that
was actual offer.
The source said This is from Keith Pompey, who is a Sixers beat writer for Philly Inquirer. Said, however, the source said the Sixers aren't interested in that package.
Yep, that's what I was reading, bro.
Bro,
The
they don't
Sixers
care about
they
any
want too
packages.
Look. I really think this revolves around James Harden.
Bro,
much. What, you think they want James Harden? I mean, they're
Bro, I
wanting
think
Harden.
I think Morey thinks he's gonna come next year or this year after an off
In the
season.
off season, you mean?
Yeah,
Is his contract up this year?
he's a free agent.
Is KD's? Oh no, KD
KD
resigned.
signed.
Bro.
Kyrie didn't sign. Well, they took back Kyrie's offer. James Harden's a free agent.
How would they make that money work
What
on the Sixers?
if Harden signs with them?
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd have to look at their team salaries.
that's why I think they should trade Tobias in his insane, disgusting.
You got to get rid of
contract.
Tobias
Yeah.
or
yeah.
obviously Simmons, but
Both of them. I mean, they're only two. I mean, you're not gonna trade Embiid, obviously, and then everybody else on the Sixers, I don't think have a max contract. The Maxi's still on a rookie deal. I think Thibault's still on his rookie deal. I don't think the rest get paid that much, so I don't think that's gonna be an issue.
It doesn't list what pick the first round pick in the Pistons deal is, but it's probably like next year or the year after. But
Bro, if I were them, I would trade Tobias with Ben Simmons
yes,
bro,
and
you know
get
who's
that
the
package
highest
from the
paid?
Kings or the Pistons, and then if they could get James Harden, they're the favorites in the East coming into next year.
Yo,
yeah.
Tobias is gone. You know that Joel Embiid is the third highest paid player on this team?
Wow.
I know it's insane.
Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris are ahead of him by a decent amount. Next year, so we're looking at salaries
but they got supermax contracts, right? Embiid didn't get a supermax yet.
No, he is not.
I don't know. I can't remember, but all I know is that in the coming years, Embiid makes way more money than them. Like
Yeah.
way more.
So he signed a supermax, it just hasn't kicked in yet.
Bro, Buddy's gonna make $50 million in a year.
All right, so I guess he did sign a supermax.
But anyways, so we're looking at what, 2022, 2023?
Yeah.
If you want Harden, it's as simple as getting rid of Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons. That would do it. As simple as that. You just get rid of both of them. And then you got more than enough money. You got enough money to sign Harden to a supermax and get some nice pieces. And actually, if you want to keep Tobias, you could keep Tobias and get Harden. You could do it if you get rid of Simmons.
Yeah.
Or get rid of Tobias, keep Simmons, and think that he'll play. I mean,
but is
that's what
Simmons
they
working
think.
with Harden though? If they get Harden,
no, maybe it depends on if he can accept a role.
I really think they should go after Jaylen Brown.
There's been rumors that the Lakers have also explored trades for Ben Simmons, Jeremiah Grant, Miles Turner, and Harrison Barnes.
Lakers?
Even though they don't have notable bait.
They don't have
George
money. They don't have picks.
Yeah.
They don't really have the right players unless they're trading AD.
They're trying to. It looks like they're trying to package THT, Taylor Horton Tucker, Kendrick Nunn, a 2027 or 2028 first round pick, and a few second rounders and a few minimum contracts like Kent Bazemore, Wayne Ellington, Dwight Howard, and
For Ben
DeAndre Jordan.
Simmons?
Yeah, I think so.
That's a slap
I'm
in
gonna tell
the
y'all
face.
this right now. If the Lakers acquire anybody of Jeremiah Grant or Ben Simmons' stature, this league is rigged. It will confirm, and I'm not taking the NBA serious from that point because nobody in the right mind would ever trade for any of that shit.
Right.
Nobody.
Yeah. No.
They would if they're trying to rebuild. They might. The Sixers are in a win now mentality. If the
It
Sixers
don't matter. Nobody's trading for THT and Kendrick Nunn.
And 2028 first round.
No, the only reason I could see them doing that, a team doing that, is like not the Pistons. I wouldn't even say the Pistons anymore. Maybe not even the Wizards. Bro, I don't know a team that would do that right now. Maybe the Rockets, like a team that's just like, hey, we're starting over. We want to get rid of our expensive contracts.
But, like
But
Lakers-
those are players that are only going to be there for this year, and then they're cutting them immediately just to get. So it's not like they're just trying to get rid of the contract, the hefty contract. So like the Ben Simmons money, they want to get rid of that. That's all they're trying to do. But if the Sixers accept that, and the league lets it go through, no,
That would
no,
be,
no, 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 no.
no way.
That is awful, bro. If I received that trade, if I'm Daryl Morey and I got that trade, I would call up Rob Pelinka and just scream at him and tell him this is an insult and I felt like I just got punched in the face 100 times. But that does bring me to a point that I do think that some of the trades you've mentioned, Zach, I think there are some more we didn't really discuss.
But
they're
Kings and
good
the
trades.
Pistons, yeah.
They're good. The Sixers are just, as I said at the beginning of this, they want too much.
They still want too much.
They still want too much. The leverage, and we've talked about it many times. If the leverage was up here when this all started, well, it's certainly down here all the way because it's gone on this long. So they don't have any more leverage. I'd say it's similar to the Kyrie thing. I mean, they just want too much, bro. Some of those trades are nice, bro. I'd take Jeremy Grant, Sadiq Bey, bro.
And a first round pick, dude.
Yeah, I'd take that. Especially if the first round pick is in the upcoming year. If it's in the upcoming year, I'm jumping on that right now.
For real.
But the problem is what Skip says. Skip outlines this really well on Undisputed. If you guys have ever seen, if you've watched them talk about this, Skip values Ben Simmons very highly. He thinks he's a great player. And to be fair, he is. He's accomplished a lot in the league.
But he's not this good. Right.
I think he is this good, but he's not this good with the trade value he has now. You can't skip what?
You're right. Yeah. 1000%. Yeah. He's not this good with the trade value he has now.
Yeah. You can't value him and say, oh, he's this caliber of player. Like and maybe he is. But if everybody in the league knows you want to trade him, sorry, that's it. That is plain and simple, bro. And they haven't figured that out. And they've gone a whole year without trading him.
Will.
Yo.
Ben Simmons playing at the best of his abilities is a top what player in the NBA?
20.
Top 20.
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't think so?
With the way you just talked about him, you would think he's a top 10 player.
No.
Okay.
Do you think he is? I mean, maybe.
I don't think.
I'd have to run through a list.
I think all these
10 players.
All these packages again for Ben Simmons right now is going. They're gonna fleece. If the Kings offer that to me, I'm taking it. If the Pistons offer that to me, I'm taking it. Those are getting. The Kings are getting fleeced. The Pistons are getting fleeced. That's way too much for Ben Simmons.
I am not disagreeing at all.
So that doesn't make sense to me. How Daryl Morey is just standing there in his front office and he's not taking any of these trades. And Ben Simmons,
I agree.
As of right now, is not playing for the Sixers ever again.
Yes.
100%.
So what the hell is going on then?
They just value him more than that. I don't know why.
You can't get more than that.
I don't know, bro. We need to run their operations. This is crazy. This has been a whole year. This man's going to sit and make $33 million. I don't know. Is he still getting paid? I can't remember. How that all.
I don't know. He was getting fined a lot in the beginning.
Okay, but give or take, let's just say somewhere in the ballpark of like 20 million, 15 million. Bro, if you told me right now in this chair that I'm in right now, I can make $15 million. Yeah, you better believe I'm doing that.
I feel bad for any Sixers fan because they're on the verge of becoming like the next powerhouse in the East. And
we said that for a long time.
They have an opportunity right now, and they're not taking it because Daryl Morey is just.
I mean, maybe you're right.
He's reminding me of what's his name from the Celtics. Who's the guy that used to run the Celtics that used to play? Danny Ainge. Was that his name?
Yeah, Danny Ainge. Yeah.
Remember how he didn't really take chances because he devalued his draft picks so much?
Yep.
All right. Well, Morey's doing the same thing.
Well, but you could be right. Maybe he's waiting for Harden. But if you're doing that, you're taking a huge gamble.
Okay, but that doesn't make sense because if he's waiting for Harden, you're not going to play Harden and Simmons in the same team. That's not working. Just saying.
even if they don't trade away any picks, they could just trade away Toby, Tobias Harris, and Simmons. They don't even need to trade away picks. Just get rid of those both of
Bro,
those guys. And
no.
Bro, if you think James Harden has a good chance of coming to your team in the offseason, get rid of Simmons now. Okay?
Yes.
Trade for
I
the
was just gonna say that. Yep.
Kings. That Kings trade is really good. That Pistons trade with James Harden is really good. That Celtics trade, if you can get Jaylen Brown and maybe Marcus Smart, really good.
All those trades, if you get James Harden, are probably making you the
That's what I'm
instant
saying.
favorite in the East.
Yes.
Instantly.
So maybe there's something that's going on that we don't know that's happening internally, but it just does not make sense to me because every circumstance or like every perspective that we just looked at, it doesn't make sense to keep him. Because if he was gonna play, if they knew he was gonna play, he would have played by now this season. What's holding him back right now?
Yeah, I still don't believe he's going to play. I said that from day one. I still have no faith that he's going to play. What you said is what I was saying. You get rid of Simmons at all costs. Trade him because you still have Tobias Harris. You have a max contract. So you get rid of Simmons, you're getting rid of a max contract. But obviously in the trade, you're probably going to gain that back. You're going to get it back in players. But every trade we've outlined is worth it. You're getting decent players and decent picks for it. That Pistons one, I'm jumping on it immediately because their first round pick
Actually, look,
is going to be.
You just remind me low key because Jeremiah Grant wants a max contract.
Oh shoot!
I'm pretty sure Fox would want a max contract, and I'm pretty sure Buddy Hield gets paid $24 million. So if you get that trade for those guys, and then you have James Harden coming in, who's a free agent, and he's obviously going to sign for a lot of money, maybe that won't work.
Okay, but let's say you get one max player in the trade.
Okay.
So you're taking up the max contract that you have that you gave away with giving Simmons away, right? So you're trading one max for one max, right? Essentially. Numbers will be a little different. But then you have Tobias Harris. He's not really I think Tobias is good, but he's not a difference maker to me. So if I have the option to get James Harden, buy Tobias. Problem is you have to trade Tobias Harris. He's on contract till what year is he on? He's on contract till 2024. So they're locked. He's making a lot of money. He's making more money than Embiid, obviously, 2 of the years. So
he signed that atrocious, disgusting 170 or whatever it was.
No matter which way you slice it, you have to get rid of Simmons. You have to trade him. Then I'm looking to trade Tobias Harris too. And I said a few episodes ago, I believe in him. I think he's a good player. I think he makes their team better, but I do not believe that he's a difference maker. If I have the chance, if I'm confident I can get James Harden, I'm letting Tobias go.
I mean, Tobias is a good player.
He is. If I'm confident I can get James Harden, I'm getting rid of Tobias without question.
If Daryl Morey is listening to this right now, if you need a third team to get rid of Tobias, you can call the Bulls because I'd take Tobias on the Bulls.
For real. Tobias has been traded around so much, bro.
The money's an issue, but I'm pretty sure we can work that out. If they need help paying him, I could help pay his contract. That's not a big deal. But if the Bulls are listening, just make sure you try to get Tobias.
I want Tobias to find a nice home where he can stay for multiple years because he's been on like every team that it feels like the last couple of years. He's been on the Magic, he's been on the Sixers, he was on the Pistons. The Kings, I think.
That's where he started, right?
Magic, Clippers, Pistons,
Kings,
Sixers,
I think.
Obviously.
Kings, I think. Yeah, I mean, like, come on. He's not he's good. He can be a solid piece on a nice team.
But he's a third option. He's getting paid I don't even think he's a third option. I think he's a fourth option.
Maybe behind Seth Curry.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, Bucks, Magic, Pistons, Clippers, Sixers.
He's getting paid like a second option when he's not.
Shaking my head.
I'm not a Sixers fan, so not my problem to deal with.
Yeah, but
the case in point is they want too much for Simmons. They're not going to get it.
Doesn't make sense.
It feels obvious at this point that they should know we're not going to get all this. all that we
confused,
want.
bro. I really don't know what's going on because he's not playing for them, it looks like, and they're getting all these good trade packages. They don't want to trade him. So I don't understand what's going on over there.
There's
The value
something
is
like
like
you
he's
said there.
the value
Go
is
on.
like he's playing like right now.
Yeah,
If they're valuing him for potential, then sure, I understand. But nobody's gonna care about potential if they're gonna be trading for a player like him, his caliber.
But he's not playing right now. There's been personal issues
I'm just
this
saying,
whole
if Ben
season.
Simmons really worked on his shot, I mean, because we talked about before, like how a change of scenery could change somebody, can make him work
Yeah.
harder. If Ben Simmons got to a new team, he could probably develop a jump shot if he started training or practicing more. But he's not gonna do that with the Sixers. Obviously, what happened. So I'm just saying, like, if he gets a jump shot, then I think he's gonna be like, he could be a top 5, top 10 player. But obviously,
I don't want him. If you're on any type of playoff success, playoff seed right now, I do not want him. If you have any,
I don't know. With the right team, I think he's a good player. He could be a key piece.
but the way he's looked at right now in the league, the
Yeah,
last
yeah,
time
yeah.
we saw him, he
Yeah.
was terrible in the playoffs. Trash
Yeah.
playoff performance last year.
That's a
The last
misconception.
time
He was not terrible.
But he was no, come on.
He didn't show up in important moments.
He didn't show up in important moments. Yes. But he was elite defensively. That I'm not disagreeing.
Defender.
I'm just saying he was elite defensively.
He's a good defender.
Yeah, but the last time
we saw him,
important moments in that Hawks series is what really.
Yeah. Well, and here's and that right there is why I think he would have benefited from playing this year if he wanted to get traded. If he wanted to force his way out, the best way would have been play, show you can play. That's how you get out, because like you said, Zach, the Sixers are valuing him like he's playing right now. Yeah. Who knows?
And
maybe
he
could come back right
and
now.
He's not playing right now or having a good season. Like I'm just saying, like it's like he's playing right now and having a good season. And the last time we saw him, he wasn't really that good, and he's not playing right now.
He showed, and here's I mean, if he was playing, bro, it would be a different story. But I don't understand why this whole situation is just flabbergasting to me, because you got Ben Simmons, who wants out but won't do what's really necessary to get out. Then you got Daryl Morey, who thinks he's like a god, apparently, and won't accept these totally reasonable trades for him. And then you got the fist kind of clashing like this, like nobody's given at all. And as Skip says every time they talk about this, I keep referencing Skip because Skip loves Embiid, but Embiid historically has not really been healthy. He's been pretty healthy this year. How many years of that do you think he has left? From what we know about Embiid, he doesn't exactly take care of himself how he should. Maybe that's changed. I haven't heard anything this year, but you're wasting precious years with a very good player, an MVP caliber player. Who knows? He wins MVP this year. Maybe he's an MVP. You're wasting precious years. He's too big to rely on those legs working this long, like that long. You have probably like a three-year window, and that's it. It's literally, it's like they're collapsing on themselves. That's what they're doing. They're like a neutron star. I don't know if you guys know.
Yeah.
This man.
Or no, a black hole. It would be a black hole.
We get it, bro. You're like some astronomer or something like that, right? Cool. Nice.
We get it, bro. You're smart. Whatever. No. Yeah, that's.
I should have started. Don't look up.
You should have been in the new Space Jam.
I'm glad the Bulls don't have any contracts, trade issues right now. So it must be nice to have a front office that knows what they're doing.
Bro, imagine if the Bulls had a fully healthy team with Patrick Williams. Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Pat Williams is such a key piece to this.
It would be so good. It would be. I just want to
cry. We're gonna come back though, so it's all good.
Yeah, we're getting up here in the minutes though. I don't know if we might have time for one more topic. I think.
Let's gloss over one more. That was an emotional talk.
That was emotional.
Emotional?
I was emotional.
He's like,
okay, you can't tell. God, nobody can tell when I'm emotional. I gotta work on that, man.
What about Westbrook? Let's talk about Westbrook.
That's not gonna help, bro.
Nothing to talk about.
Not gonna help. Westbrook,
Nothing to
bro.
talk about.
Rockets open to Russell Westbrook for John Wall trade, but for a heavy price.
It
per
doesn't make
report.
sense. Let's not waste any time with this. It does not make sense.
Okay.
I was really shocked when I
Player,
was
the Lakers. I don't know what they would be doing. John
this
Wall's
Christmas. I was gobsmacked when I heard that.
John Wall is
Gobsmacked.
a little bit better of a shooter than Westbrook. I trust John Wall shooting more than Westbrook, but it's not really that much of a difference.
The only reason that it's even a thought is because both players don't want to play. Well, because John Wall doesn't want to play for the Rockets, and clearly the
He
Lakers
wants to play. They don't want him to play. That's the problem.
Oh yeah, true. But they did well. They agreed mutually to part ways.
Yeah, and then they didn't trade him, and then they're sitting him out. So
Well, yeah, because nobody will take his contract. His contract's insane.
we don't know that. I'm pretty sure they even tried that. I'm pretty sure I saw they didn't even try to trade him.
Oh, I didn't see that, but that's bogus. If
Disrespectful. Like, he's a top.
What's the next thing?
Point guard when he's healthy.
Next thing was the James Harden leaving the Nets.
Doesn't make sense. I don't understand why he would. Unless he goes to the Sixers, unless he knows the Sixers are cooking up something good, then.
So Mark Stein, who's an NBA insider, says that James Harden leaving the Brooklyn Nets this summer is reportedly not out of the question. The Sixers front office brace remains interested in a deal for Harden, and the rumor has gained traction around the league, and now many believe there is enough noise circulating league-wide about Harden's reported openness to relocation this summer.
If I was him, I'd go to the Clippers.
Interesting. He had a chance to sign an extension with the Nets in October, but his decision to decline allows him to opt into his $47 million contract.
Opt in?
Yeah, opt into his $47 million contract for the 2022-2023 season.
Wait, does he have the option this year then? He must. He must have the option.
That's how he's going to be a free agent.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Well, yeah. So why would they say opt
and
in?
so he opt into his $47 million contract for the 2022 season and sign a 4-year extension worth $223 million when free agency begins this summer.
I just think it's weird that they phrase it that way. I would say he has the option to opt out. That's usually a more crucial detail.
He said that he doesn't plan on leaving this organization and the situation that we have. So my focus, honestly, is just focus on the season and win the championship. Right.
It's cap.
But you never really know with that.
It's cap. He's just saving face, obviously. Too many distractions already. He doesn't want to have another one on the Nets. Radar.
I don't think he's going to leave. I don't think he's going to, I don't know. Yeah.
He could, bro. I mean,
if it doesn't pan out this season.
I'm not saying the Nets are not good enough. But with what's happened the past 2 years, he probably is questioning it.
It all comes down to KD and his relationship, I think.
Why?
Or maybe more so Kyrie.
I just think it's KD's health and then Kyrie's obviously commitment to the team.
Yeah.
He probably respects Kyrie's decisions, but he probably just like, okay, but if that's what's going to be going on, I'm trying to
you're screwing me over.
Yeah, like I think Shannon said this. I forgot who said this, but someone said like, James Harden is in the phase of his career where he needs to get a championship to like solidify his like spot, Yeah. And I think if he thinks there's a better option out there, which there are kind of right now, with the way the Nets are going, then he could leave.
Yeah.
And I think the Sixers, obviously we just talked about that for like 20 minutes, but I think the Clippers are a good choice. He's good friends with Kawhi. He's from LA area, obviously. I don't think if Lakers can't trade Russ and he doesn't really lead the team, I think the Lakers can be an option, but they probably could. I don't know. But I think the Clippers would be a really good destination.
Do you get rid of PG?
Huh?
You get rid of PG?
No, they can't pay 3 people. They have money, right?
They can, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, they have Steve Ballmer, so he could pay the luxury tax.
Or he could be like the Thunder owner.
That would be crazy. If Harden joined the Clippers.
James Harden, though. First of all, Zach, you said this. Durant is more and more with every day. It's just starting to look like he made the worst decision of his career. Maybe it was good for his legacy, but like in terms of winning, which is ultimately the goal, that's the goal.
He won
It's
enough.
just looking
bro.
worse and worse every
He's
day.
He won enough. What are y'all saying right now?
Well, because if you want to win more, he's not gonna. You ask a
Okay,
player if they won
he's
enough,
not
they're
gonna
gonna say
play
no.
for an organization where Curry, who's probably one of the top two faces of NBA, is still playing, and even after KD proved that he was better than him, the Warriors fans still adored Curry more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
I
an
understand.
issue. And
I'm
then
not
he had to
disagreeing.
prove. I don't know if this is true, but I would think that he would thought that maybe if he proved that he could win by himself, maybe just another star like with Kyrie,
Oh,
then
for sure.
yeah. But he messed that up again by giving the green light to get James Harden, which he look, if everybody wants to say, look, he's just trying to win and all that stuff, and if you had a chance to get this player, you would do it. I'm like, okay, that's fair to say. But in KD's situation, I can't put him top 10 all time. And talent-wise, sure. But career-wise, like if he wins a ring with James Harden and Kyrie, that's nice, that's cool, but it's like it's another super team. And I like KD a lot, but it's like, come on, bro. Like if he did it with LeVert, Jared Allen, Dinwiddie, and Kyrie, then that would be a different story for me.
I agree. But let me push back a little, play some devil's advocate here. What about why is LeBron then easily top 5 to most people, but yet every ring he's had has been orchestrated by creating a super team?
Okay, Miami was a super team. Cleveland wasn't. Lakers.
You don't think Cleveland was?
No.
Really? With Kyrie and Kevin Love? Really?
No.
Kevin Love was a
if Kevin Love played like the way he was playing in Minnesota, then yes.
Well, but you have to understand the same thing happened with Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh came to Miami and immediately was not like he was in Toronto.
Yeah, but I think Chris Bosh is better than Kevin Love. Way better than him.
Yes. I'm going to make the argument that was a super team. That Kevin Love was a walking.
I wouldn't say a super team. No,
I would say that.
Okay,
for sure.
In the past 20 years, what are the super teams from the past 20 years of your knowledge? Can you name
super teams?
Yeah,
all
the
of
super
them?
teams. Yeah.
Lakers.
Which Lakers? Like name the year.
God, I can't. I would give. So I'm gonna say the one with Dwight, Nash, and whatever was an attempted super team that turned out to not be at all.
Okay.
But in terms of like orchestrating a team, that was an orchestrated super team. The Heat for sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the Celtics.
Okay.
With Paul Pierce, Nash, Rondo. That was an orchestra. That was like the first one. The Warriors, obviously, when they got KD.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say the Thunder because that was built. You say yes.
No, I said no. Yeah, I'm agreeing.
Okay. Yeah. The Nets, again, that was an attempt at building one with a really old roster. Paul Pierce, KG, whatever. That was an attempt.
Like even if they're attempting, that's still not a super team.
Okay,
like I don't understand. But
it was an attempt.
3 aging players and a point guard out of his prime. That's not.
Then disregard the Lakers too with Nash and Dwight Howard because that was the same.
Dwight Howard was in his prime. Kobe was still putting up his numbers. Steve Nash was still a great point general.
Well, but he was also incredibly injury prone and old. And then within the first what was it? The first month or two, he was out for the whole year with nerve issues or something.
He wasn't out for the whole year, but he was in and out. Yeah,
in and out because he had serious health concerns. Anyways, I think the Cavs. I really do because Kevin Love. I think Kevin Love was that good. I remember him on the Timberwolves.
In Minnesota, he was that good, but in Cleveland, he wasn't that good. Especially the last 2 final runs that they had, he was no.
Well, yeah, but I could say the same thing about Chris Bosh. He became irrelevant basically.
Chris Bosh was still better than Kevin Love drastically.
Okay, but that doesn't mean not drastically. He was good. I'm not giving him drastically. Kevin Love was. Don't disrespect K Love like that. I know he's.
I don't understand the hype around Kevin Love, bro. In Minnesota, I understand the hype, but not in Cleveland. No.
Okay, well, not in Cleveland. In Cleveland, he wasn't outstandingly amazing, but he was great. He still played a role very well.
And bringing him to the Cavs from the Wolves, if he was really good on the Wolves, then that looks like a super team.
But then the other thing is, I'm talking. The whole point of me asking this was that LeBron kind of orchestrates it like that because you have to remember LeBron doesn't even come back to the Cavs if they don't do that. So clearly, in his mind, that was That's what he needed. Another all-star to make what he wanted. So that I was only giving you a little pushback there because I want to see how you valued that differently.
I just think KD's super teams are drastically better than anybody else's.
I'll give the Warriors and
And the Nets.
here's my pushback with the Nets is that they don't play together. They played what 13 games together in 2 years.
Yeah, but
falls on personal issues and playing team.
It's a personal.
I'm just saying, if they all three of them played this
year,
year, I mean, not this year, but just in general, do you think the performance will be better than most super teams? I would say so.
For sure.
Then so it's fair to say that yes, it's fair to say that
if they play together, yes, I will give it.
Okay.
But until then, nevertheless, this is the point: is that ultimately it's about winning, and the reason it's about winning championships. That's what the players care about, Mohammed. That's the truth. That's what they care about.
I said that. Look, bro, that is fine, but if he really wanted the respect that he wants, he can't just create another super team in Brooklyn and then expect people not to say his rings are fake. I'm not saying that, but I'm not going to put him top 10 all the time when he's over here playing with Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Draymond, and he goes and plays with Kyrie and James Harden. Like, come on, bro.
I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing that his move from the Warriors may look worse to him in the grand scheme of things because he may not win a championship again partially because Kyrie's insane. And
he's not insane. He just has different views.
He just has different beliefs, and he takes them to extreme levels.
The right levels, actually. You mean?
I think
he's a renegade, bro. I'm just saying.
It's who he is. It's fine. It's who Kyrie is. But then his injuries. That to me is going to be the bigger thing because KD healthy would be. The Nets with KD and Harden, you got to think are at least. Maybe not the favorite to come out of the East, but at least
they have to be. Yeah.
But Durant's injuries.
If they have all three guys. If they have Kyrie playing and Harden playing and Kevin Durant playing and they're all healthy, they are the favorite. They've always been the favorite.
Oh,
and so far, it's been disappointing.
But that's my whole point is that he may not. In his mind, he went somewhere like you said to win a championship. Whether it be without other all-stars or whatever. He just wanted to go somewhere else, win a championship.
Right.
He ended up getting Harden. But now it looks like be due to Kyrie, his own injuries. It looks like it may not happen.
No.
You think it will happen?
No, I just think that he left the Warriors because
Mohammed's right. Yeah, he left the Warriors because of the Steph thing. Because he
not just a Steph thing, but
no, it was more than that.
Yeah,
it's more than that. But I'm just saying, I think his approach to the Brooklyn thing was a bad approach. I think leaving the Warriors, I think he had to do that because if he stayed and even if he won 5 rings with them, I still don't think people would.
Nobody would have cared.
I think people would care, but like it's not like you can't compare his rings to like Kobe's rings. Like if he won 5 rings with the Warriors and they stayed like the same dynasty, would you put him over Kobe? Would you put him over Magic? Would you put him over Kareem?
He's not in the top 5. You're just mentioning top 5 players. He's not there.
But people would view him that way. People think he's a top 10 player right now, and he only has 2 rings in the MVP.
He's not a top 10 player, bro.
But a lot of people think that. I'm saying talent-wise, he probably is. And a lot of people start to move. A lot of people are starting to move to talent-wise instead of just like accolades and like the
First
usual.
of all, those lists are so subjective. I hate even debating with people about those. But let me finish my thought here. All right. I'm not disagreeing that he left for different motives than winning. Like he's Durant psychologically, he's affected pretty easily, right? We know he's mentally not weak, but he things get to him a little more. You disagree?
No, I disagree, yeah.
You think? Why? You don't think things get to him a little more?
Well, I think before, but as soon as his burner account got exposed, I think he's kind of accepted that, hey, I'm not afraid to talk back to people.
Yes. But
I don't think he's mentally. Let me say this. I don't think he's triggered. I don't think he gets triggered when he does stuff like that. I think he's not afraid to speak up.
But I'm saying if the ultimate goal in the NBA is winning championships. That's I'm just saying in a vacuum. The thing every player wants to do is win a championship. For Durant now, it may look like that will not happen. It still could. But as Zach has said many times, maybe it would have been better to stay on the Warriors if that's what he wanted, was to win championships.
You could
Now,
say
I get it. I understand that there's more to it.
You can say the same thing for Kyrie leaving Cleveland. You could say that his chance of winning a championship was much better with LeBron in Cleveland, but he chose to leave the Celtics. Obviously,
yes.
I mean, leave the Cavs to go to the Celtics for the same kind of reasons that
he got traded.
He did get traded.
But he requested the trade. You know, he wanted to leave. There was all that thing. But you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
But it's
the point. The point is, Zach, is that Durant wanted to win somewhere else to prove he could do it. Like Mohammed said, they ended up getting Harden.
Kyrie, right? Yeah.
With Kyrie is fine, but then the team was fine to me. I actually
that's my whole point. His team was fine with LeVert, Dinwiddie, Jared Allen, and all those other guys. That was a good enough team to come out the East. Trading for Harden, my point is that just diminishes what he was doing with the Warriors.
Yep.
I actually
and he's lucky because he's playing for Brooklyn, which don't have like the face of the franchise like Steph is. So, you know, he's not gonna have a problem with something like that because that was a factor obviously in Golden State. But I
think the Nets, Mohammed, were better without Harden than they are with him.
I don't know about that. Like you said, they've only played 13 games with their big three.
That's fair. But what I will say is that for when the inevitable injuries and resting happen, the team was more suited to be able to handle that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they had a better, well-rounded team. Now without Harden, KD, or Kyrie on the court, at least one of them, bro, it's like watching Y-ball. It's terrible. They don't know what to do, bro.
That's
facts. And it's not their own fault because the whole scheme is ran through those three players, kind of like a LeBron team. But that's my whole point, is that like you said, he went there. Obviously, they ran the Harden thing by him. He had to approve that. No way it happens without that.
For sure.
So you kind of did that to yourself, undoing what you did to go there or wanted to do by going there in the first place. And now all your decisions before that you wanted to overshadow what you did with the Warriors, it now looks like it may be worse. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. I know that was poorly phrased.
Well, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but let me just say this. Maybe down the road we'll see what his true intentions were with leaving the Warriors and then making the super team with Harden. If he comes out and says, hey, I didn't care. I just want to win championships. I don't really care about the whole, fake ring or my ring is worth more than this person or less than this guy. If he comes out and say that, then more power to him. Like if that's fine with him, then that's the end of it. But for me, it's like I really wanted him to prove that he could win as the main guy without a super team. And I know that sounds corny, but I'm just saying I think it's good enough they could have won with Dinwiddie, LeVert, and Allen and all those guys.
That team was loaded. In my opinion,
like you guys said, I understand why he would leave the Warriors and then just do the same thing he did, but just he brought a guy in instead of joining another team.
Let's say no pandemic happens. And
because he wants to be the man on the super team. He wants to be the man on a championship team.
And but he could have been Zach. He didn't need to bring Harden in. That's my whole point.
Yeah, right. Yep. Yeah.
But let's say no pandemic happens, right? So that means that Kyrie doesn't miss 41 games. That team without Harden. Injured. Well, I know they're both injury prone.
No. He still would have missed. Didn't they opt out of the bubble?
Who?
Him and Kyrie could have played in the bubble, right? And they opted out.
No, I'm saying for this year. I'm saying right now. I'm saying today. If there was no pandemic today, and they never traded for Harden,
went to the finals,
and they had the regular team that they had with
2019, 2020, they would have went to the finals.
That's a good enough.
But team, that was a team with LeVert and Jared Allen. That was the bubble.
That's a good enough team, bro. I don't want to hear any excuses.
Yes, and then the next year, if they made the finals or they made the conference finals, they lost, and then they got Harden the next year. So last season, then I don't even know where I'm gonna go with that. Never mind.
Yeah, but I think he saw the opportunity to get Harden, and he saw it, and he got he was like, of course, like he knows Harden. He probably liked Harden.
Yeah, I think
He
it's
played with
like
Harden before, so I think he saw that and saw, let's go for it. And he didn't take into account all the guys that he has, like Levert and Dinwiddie and the bench or whatever with the depth.
I think in today's
yeah.
league, I think the whole just wanting to win a championship with no regards to how you do it, I think is a big mentality for a lot of players. So maybe that was just how they
especially
thought of.
Especially Durant, right? I think you're right. I think that
And it's funny because
that like he did in Golden State.
Right.
It just he saw that as the most winning opportunity the best opportunity to win a championship.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say two things. Like how we said, how they're just forming super teams, and Lakers obviously try to do one, and then you got Clippers who kind of try to make like a really good all around team. So you have all these teams. I think it's just I don't know if domino effect is the right word, but like it's like if one team does it, it's a copycat lead. Another team's gonna do it because they're gonna say, if we want to win the championship, we have to go through that team. So super teams is like, if one happens, then more teams are gonna, try to make one.
And this all started, I mean, realistically, it started with the Celtics, but it really started with the Heat.
Yeah, because LeBron was a free agent though.
Well,
and they orchestrated that. The Celtics didn't.
Yeah, that's what started this all. That's the reason. I know there's backlash. People argue on the internet that the Celtics are the one that started it, but it's different when. And I'm all for players using their freedom, exercise your do what you want. That's fine. They deserve that right. But once you did that, since then the NBA has just been about super teams. You can almost pinpoint every single year 4 teams that will be in the final. Like one of the 4 teams are going to make the finals and win it. Granted, last year was a fluke year, but I mean, even being that, I think a lot of people could have said, "Hey, the Bucks have a good chance to win this year." They got a realistic shots. I think the Suns might have been more of a surprise, but nevertheless,
yeah, look what happened with how the Suns and Bucks had to happen for them to get to the finals. You
saw anybody in their right mind believe the Bucks win that series if Harden and Kyrie are there?
No, I mean, I'm not gonna say
I give them a shot, but do I think they win? No.
Yeah. I give them a shot, but I was gonna make this last point. I sent it in the chat.
Up, yeah.
Huh?
Wrap this up, but say the last points though. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I sent in the chat a couple days ago that Donovan Mitchell might consider leaving Utah, and now that we have this conversation about forming super teams, it's like you see the effect because the Jazz are a really good team. If this Jazz team played 10 years ago, I would say they probably could win a championship, maybe. But you see the team he has around him, and he's still considering leaving. And if he left, where do you think he would go? He would go to another really good team and probably form not a super team, but at least a big 3 with somebody. So it's like that's what guys have to do to, like, I guess.
If you want to win, that's the way to do it. You have no other way.
Yeah, but it's crazy to me because look at this team right now. That's a good team, a really good team.
And this is why I don't believe in this. I don't know what's wrong with the Lakers.
I think they fail with a good team, and they feel like they need to make a great team, and that is the super team.
Yep.
And they had to do that because that's what's required to get a championship.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you saw how the Suns and Bucks made the finals, and they beat those very super teams because what? They were injured.
Mm-hmm. Next week we got to talk about Zion though, because that's that. I just thought of that because of the Donovan Mitchell thing.
Yep. And
so that'll be
thing. Yeah, that's good.
But Zion's not proven though. I mean, he's not. He's not played. He hasn't played enough.
I know, but he's the same way. He doesn't want to be in.
He's not the same way.
He doesn't want to be in New Orleans, bro.
Who said that?
His camp.
His camp has nobody has ever come out and said they actually came out and said that they're fine with New Orleans.
Okay. Another topic for another time. We're on the battery here. We're way over our time, but we appreciate everybody. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, link tree in the bio. See you probably next week. We appreciate everybody. Nice long debate here.
Cooper Cup for NFL MVP, by the way.
Wow. Peace.